Hello, and welcome everyone. This is another edition of Rimpage Live, and today we're going to have an interview with one of Rimpage's newest members, Miss Katarina Miletic. Katarina, it's great to see you. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I am great. Thank you for having me. I love that intro. That music always gets me going. I love hearing it and seeing it.
Yes, yeah, I love the energy in it.
Yes,
Love
yes.
that. Love that. Katerina, you will be doing some your title for Rimpage is creative visionary. And so you're
Hmm.
helping us out there a lot with the vision. I kind
Yes.
of want to talk about the vision with you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but before I do, I'd like to ask you what interested you in Rimpage when you first heard about it? What made you decide this is something you wanted to be a part of?
Interesting. It takes me back to our conversation we had on This Is Your Moment when you were guest on my podcast.
Yes.
And when you said that Rimpage is unlimited opportunity, it represents opportunity for people who otherwise wouldn't have this opportunity. So vast majority of players who play basketball will never get a chance to play on a big scene, and Rimpage sort of answers that for them. So that was one component. And the second component is that this, for me, transcended basketball. So it really pulled on my heartstrings. It sort of, I saw it as an equalizer, really bringing the playing field, equalizing it for all people and giving everyone equal chance, which really excited me a lot. So it was the your passion with the way you talked about it that really spoke to me. Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. And we've had these conversations before, so I know
Hmm.
that having your country compete on Rimpage is
Yes,
pretty important to you. Please talk about that a little.
definitely. When I put the two and two together, because when we first started talking, you spoke about basketball league and didn't quite understand and realize that this was that you meant international basketball league, that you meant worldwide. And then when I understood, the opportunity in that, and that this is actually a world stage, then obviously my thoughts went immediately to my country, which is Serbia. And thinking back the years that I grew up and knowing how much we rallied behind our basketball teams, and especially the national team when they played,
Yeah.
and they reached always far in international championships, which was exciting to watch. So I thought, my goodness, there are a lot of players in my country who will never have the opportunity. So Rimpage for them would open doors that otherwise would just be
Yeah.
closed forever. Hmm.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Um, I we're just gonna have a conversation. Um, so you touched on it a little bit already, but what does Rimpage mean for you personally? Like, how does it align with your values and how you see the world and how you think the world should be?
Yes.
How's Rimpage going to get us there?
I really see Rimpage wider than just basketball, and you know that because Rimpage is a mission that involves people who are creative thinkers, people who are involved in decision making, like business making, like entrepreneurs. Not necessarily from the background of basketball,
Mhm.
and also creative people, which is like videographers and people who are creating all sorts of things, like wonderful images, the photography that
Yes.
Jose is doing, and the graphic design that you are doing, and that I'm helping you a little with that. Like all of those elements involve more people, so
Right.
it's a
Right.
community, it's a family, it's a movement, it's a way of life. So all of that
Yeah.
excites me a lot. It's not just a straight basketball league that exists everywhere else in the world. It's something new and innovative that you have created here.
Right. Right.
Mm.
What are some of the programs that you would like to see Rimpage offer athletes? Like
Mhm.
these players are coming in off the streets, but we have a program in place where we want to develop them
Yes.
professionally. And
Mhm.
you talked about helping them off the court and then also helping them after their careers in basketball. What are some of the
Mhm.
ways that you would like to see Rimpage do that?
Well, that what appealed to me also it was that you saw players as human beings, and you wanted to help them on that journey of realizing themselves and becoming developed fully as a human being, accomplished, satisfied, having fun and playing the sport that they love. So living their dream, and also having the opportunity to connect that dream with either building their own brand or building themselves up in a way that tomorrow they are confident and well-rounded human beings who can go, they know they are supported within this community to get that growth that they need to get out in the world and have successful relationships in their private life and in their business, however they choose to go beyond their basketball career. So that really excites me, seeing complete human beings and supporting them on that journey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of supporting them, one of the main reasons or main ways that I saw that you could contribute to Rimpage, and is a reason that I'm so excited for anyone to hear you, is because of how you see life and how
Mhm.
how you're brave and you speak of empowerment and you're deliberate about that. Would
Yes.
you please share a little bit about that, like empowerment, opportunity, being
Mhm.
brave, choosing the adventure?
Mhm. Well, I was schooled by life most in all of those subjects, right? Um, like many of us, and in fact, all of us have gone through some conditioning in life. Life um, presented us with situations where we had to go for 9 to 5 job. We had to accept certain things that perhaps were not our dream, but life sort of cornered us, and we had to go down that road, you know and in having to go through those situations myself, I was always looking to come on top of that situation, see how can I use this for my benefit, how can I grow through this situation. So first of all, I always told myself this is temporary. So when I worked in the corporate world, I knew that I wanted to break free from that, but I didn't suffer while I was there. I tried to learn and grow and appreciate where I was in that moment, but all the time having, in this vision in mind, that I am going
Mhm.
forward to something else, that I'm developing into something more. That concept of becoming, having a chance to be better version of myself every
Yeah.
single day, that is my main driver in life. So that is sort of helped me make all of my choices in life. And I could go in some depth talking about
Hmm.
that, but ultimately it is realizing that I was responsible for all the choices in my life. And if I was no longer willing to stay in that situation and work there, I
Hmm.
had the responsibility to remove myself there. No one was keeping me there. So if I invested 5 years of my life, it came a point at which I said, I have outgrown this. They were not allowing
Yeah.
me to grow further, and I had to make my own choices and decisions. So I think being brave means assuming that responsibility rather than waiting
Ah,
for life to kick you down before you make that decision, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You you created a graphic for Rimpage, and by the way, your graphic design work is exquisite.
Mhm.
I
Thank
the way I've described it is you speak Rimpage's language, and that's why all of your graphics are on point. You do a really great job of representing the brand. In one particular graphic, you depicted two guys sitting on the bench, and then and you said tired of sitting on the bench in life.
Yes. Yes.
Um, what is the inspiration behind that? What is the message that you really want that graphic to
Mhm.
deliver?
Well, I realized something clicked to me, that Rimpage brings that other leagues don't. And in talking to you and in watching the games that are already happening in Rimpage, I realized that our players get a chance to play and every time they want, right? And you have explained to me that how it is when you're chosen to play on a team that even that doesn't guarantee your play time, and I realized this as well, because sometimes watching those championships that I mentioned, we noticed that our best players are sitting on the bench for the entire game, and we as supporters didn't know why that was happening, why coach was deciding like that. Oftentimes we disagreed with coach, you see. But ultimately, don't you think, and I know you do,
Mhm.
that players should have the ultimate decisions, how long they play, how much they play, and
Right,
you offer them that opportunity with Rimpage, so they're responsible for their
right,
entire game, whether they win or lose. They have to bear
right,
that
right.
responsibility.
Right.
So
Mm.
I like that. And what you don't know is that today, university team basketball player actually put a heart on that comment. So I got
Really?
in touch with somebody who plays actually for the university league,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. You see, so that must have resonated. That tired of sitting on the bench. That graphic, that
Yes.
same graphic that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So he will have
Yeah.
somebody who was selected, who was picked to play on a team.
Right, right.
That rang true for
Yeah,
him, you
yeah.
see.
You
Amazing.
know, my son had a flag football game today. He's 11,
Mhm.
and he dropped a pass, and then the other team came on the field. He had to come off the field. I could see in his little heart he wanted to be on that field. He wanted to make up for that bad play, but he couldn't just go out there. The coach decided whether or not he got to get on the field or
Mhm.
not.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about Rimpage players, and not only them but my own self. Like, I
Yes.
wanted to be in the game. I wanted to show what I could do, but I had to wait to be picked by my coach over all these other people.
Mhm.
That's that's a big thing affecting athletes everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
That that Rimpage addresses directly, as you said. 100% of players get to play 100% of the time.
Yes.
I would like for you to imagine a world where
Mm.
Rimpage's vision is fully realized.
Mhm.
How is that world different? How is that world better?
Well, where Rimpage vision is fully realized, we have then basketball, um, part of schools in a bigger way. So where children get proper education, how important sport is, and they have a chance to play sport. So I don't necessarily think this is just for basketball. I have a feeling that Rimpage will open the doors for other sports to follow
Yes,
suit as
right,
well, because the way that we pick and select isn't fair, and the way that we shut the doors for so many young players and perhaps crush dreams in the process that we are unaware we're doing. And obviously physical activity is so important. We don't all have to be the champions, but we all have to be active
right,
physically.
right.
So I really believe that Rimpage has got a big part to play, in that arena of education and a school, and opening minds of many people who are educators, thinking how do we bring the sports education, the physical education to children in the right way, that they will stay connected with it for life.
Thank you, thank
Mm.
you. You mentioned dreams. Rimpage has a tag, "Dream and Believe," and I'd like for our audience to know that came from you,
Yeah.
because you're a major proponent of dreaming and believing.
Mhm,
Could you talk
mhm.
about what that means to you and why you think it's important and it's
Yes.
relevant to Rimpage players?
Yes. Well, if we live according to someone else's description of life, and if we go then pursuing the goals that someone else sets for us, we won't be reaching fulfillment and satisfaction. The life is not going to feel like play, like ease, like all of these
Mhm.
wonderful things that life can feel. Even through adversity, our life can feel like I belong here, this is my journey, this is my adventure, even through adversity, when we stay on our path. But if we follow someone else's path in life, that is missing. The very thing that makes life worth living is the opportunity to give it our own meaning, that would be missing. So for me, first is alignment with one's own self. That's what I mean when I say our dreams.
Hmm.
Each one of us was born to fulfill a certain mission in life. We all have a unique mission to fulfill, right? Even if it's connected with basketball, but
Yeah,
it might be wider than that, because as you know, players pick up the ball and they soon realize
yeah,
younger
yeah,
kids are watching, so I'm a role
right,
model for my younger brother, or that is happening
yeah,
constantly. So we look up to people who play sports. We look up to them because they have discipline. They model for us this behavior that signals to us, they are winning in life,
right,
right?
right, right.
Exactly. So dreaming and believing are so closely aligned with
Mhm.
living fully, being fully present in your life. So yes, all of that empowering stuff, as you say, and it
Yeah.
is so important. It is so
Yeah.
important.
I I love it when you speak on that subject because you live it. Everything you speak, you live. You're a living example of it. And you seem to have this zest for life and this energy for life and that is contagious. And it's a message that I would love for people to get so they can feel better about their lives and feel
Mhm.
better like they're in charge of their lives. They can actually dream and they can believe.
Yes.
You're a great example of that. Um,
Thank
so
you.
along those lines,
Mhm.
what type of work would you like to do for Rimpage athletes in the area of personal development?
Mhm.
Not just Rimpage
Yeah.
athletes, but everyone in the
Everyone in the
Rimpage
community.
community.
Yes. I would like to support them in the biggest decisions that they come across, because often we go to someone with the consideration of a decision we made or something,
Mhm.
looking just for support, looking just for someone to understand and support that vision, and instead we get their opinion, we get their criticism, we get their advice when we don't ask for it, or we don't get them involved in any way. They don't want to know, that
Mhm.
they just don't care enough to get involved. So what I would like to offer them is that understanding, it's that support, it's that
Yeah,
unconditional support in
yeah.
whatever decision they are making. um, because no matter what choice you make, you can always make that choice right for you.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. Um, what would you like for the people in Rimpage's community to know about you? What's important for them to know about you personally?
Well, what however I'm contributing there is enough, so it isn't about me personally, right? All I want them to know is that I'm there for them, that this is
Yeah.
part of my mission, is being there for them. And I'm always available, I'm always open for conversation. As I said, I'm always open for support. So if someone needs really going through a personal decision making process, something that they feel will alter the way that their life unfolds, something like that, I like to be a friend to people who really need a friend. So that is how I like to see myself, and that is why I'm there, to be a friend.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Well, in addition to that, you have also helped me with recording stats for Unpaged players. So we've watched a lot of video footage.
Oh yeah, and enjoyed.
um, what are some of the things you enjoyed about the players that you've seen? Do any players stand out for any reasons?
They do.
And if
They
so, why?
do. They do. I mean, they all have their unique way of playing. So
Yeah.
that is really evident. Just from watching from beginning of this year, I have been watching with you all of those matches, and it's really lovely to see individual styles, because
Yes, yes.
I think that really comes across in one-on-one league, which you cannot often see in a team game, or you need to watch it like for a long time to pick up on those little moves. So I am really immensely enjoying all of their styles. And what can I tell you? Some of our top players have a special flair that really appeals to me.
Yes. Oh, would you say more about that, please?
I know.
Well, okay. Let me ask it this way. Let's see.
Uh-huh.
Top three most entertaining players and why?
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's actually a better question. You were going to go there for do I have a favorite player? And I dare not say, because I have made friendships even with some of our players.
Yeah,
So it wouldn't be fair to others to say that out loud. But I really do enjoy all of them. And especially the ones that are more entertaining to watch, because after all, I am after entertainment, because
yes,
as a
yes,
basketball fan, I like to see something unusual. I like to see quick thinkers. I like to see people who don't give up. So perhaps all
oh,
of them who recognize themselves in those words, you definitely get a nod from me and applause. So yes, I won't name any names, but I enjoy quite a few of their moves and games. Yes.
okay. So we're not gonna
Mhm.
get a name.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, okay. Next one. Is there a particular moment, particular highlight that stands out in your mind as an
Ooh.
extraordinary display of skill?
Oh, there are a few highlights, and perhaps I will hint at that when we start rolling out the highlight
Oh
videos.
yes,
Yes, I don't want to spoil it now by going too far in advance saying that. But yet each and every player, actually, that's what we
mhm,
have discovered. They have their own special moves, and and
yeah,
they catch their opponents out on one.
yes,
Really cool.
yes. Okay, okay. Well, what would
Mhm.
you say to basketball players who have not yet joined Rimpage? Maybe they don't know what it is,
Mm.
or maybe they're kind of on the fence, haven't made.
Yes, yes. We're constantly putting this message in front of them. I think understanding that with Rimpage you get the opportunity that you will not get anywhere else, and that is the opportunity to play your game 100% of the time, opportunity to climb your own ladder, as you put it in that wonderful slide,
Yes,
which is just brilliant. That no one is standing in your way. It's all in your hands. If you truly want to succeed in playing basketball, and if you want to be seen and recognized, no matter what your aspiration is, even if your aspiration is to reach NBA, Rimpage is the best way to
yes,
get there,
yes, yes.
right? So and especially to all of those who think they don't have a chance, Rimpage is their chance. I'm really excited for all of them who will um, click on that link and join
Yeah,
Rimpage and try it for themselves. Some of them will become, no doubt, best in their school, best in their city, best in their country, and
yes,
who knows,
yes,
maybe once they reach that um, first champion of the world, or whichever after that. But the road is open. The road is open, and
yeah,
I'm most excited for that. So yeah, I would recommend to everyone who seriously wants to play basketball to get connected with Dreampage.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And to those players who have joined and now
Mm.
they're competing, what message would you say to them?
Well, you are part of history. You're part of history,
Yeah,
and that is quite special, because it's that is rare. A lot of
yeah,
people catch on catch on when something becomes popular, and then we will see hundreds of thousands of people following, but we will never see the first 100. You are the first.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
and that's extraordinary. Mm.
Hmm, hmm. That seems pretty special to you,
Yes,
is it?
yes, it's very
Why is that?
moving. Sorry.
Why is that? Why, or what moves you about that? Knowing that.
Well, knowing that this vision will unfold completely, that is that is moving. Knowing that my words are true, that is what is
Yeah,
moving me.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, um, I can say since you have joined, Rimpage has flourished, and
Mhm.
I think everyone who's a part of Rimpage has been touched by you in one way or another, whether it be your design work or in our messaging or in the direction of our vision. Um, and I also want people to know you work very hard. You work
I
very hard
enjoy.
and you work very well.
It doesn't feel like work, as you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
If it
you and
felt
I,
like hard work, I don't think I'd be motivated, but
yeah,
it really feels like a light burden, because when, again, here's the living proof: when we align with our dreams, it is easy to do whatever is necessary
yeah,
to make
yeah,
those dreams come true. Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, between the two of us, I probably
Mm.
wouldn't use that word work, but I do
Yeah.
want people to understand
Oh,
you
yeah. There's a
you
lot
you
of
do a
hours.
lot.
Yes.
You do a
A
lot.
lot of hours.
Um,
Yep.
and you do great work for
Joyously
Rimpage.
and happily, yes, but it does take enormous putting in enormous effort. But as I said, it doesn't feel hard. Mm.
Can you talk about some of what we have coming up for Rimpage players? Like in terms
Ooh,
of how we're
ooh,
going to be marketing them and
yeah,
giving them
yeah.
exposure.
Oh yes, a lot more exposure is coming, and I'm so happy for you. I am thrilled that you will get to feel the stars that you already are, right? And the world will get to
Yes,
see that.
yes,
And as the first players within Rimpage, you get that opportunity. Maybe we won't get to highlight every single one who joins us subsequently, but you will have this opportunity, and what is coming up will be really enjoyable for you and beneficial as well. It will give you that exposure, but all that is thanks to you. It's
yeah,
because you said yes to
yes,
yourself. It's because you
yeah,
signed up. It's because you are playing. We get the chance to celebrate you, to use
yeah,
your images, to use your videos, to use your performances, and to show you how much they matter, not just for you in your life, but also to others who you are the lighthouses for them.
yeah. I love
Mhm,
the way Keyshawn put it a few
mhm.
Sundays ago when he said we're a team. All
Yes,
of us, we're all
yes,
a team,
yes.
and we're all
Good.
taking part in something that's very special in the history of this sport.
Mm,
Because we've been doing basketball a certain way since it's been invented 75
yes,
plus years ago,
yes.
but we're turning a corner now, and there's going to be this explosion of basketball talent coming on the scene now, much the way you see an explosion of entertainers come on the scene since YouTube was created. Entertainers
Mhm.
that we never knew of, never would have known of,
Yes,
have
exactly.
entertained us for so many hours. Like YouTube has the stats of how many
Exactly.
hours of watch time they've
Yes,
accumulated.
yes.
They created that opportunity, and we're doing the same with Rimpage.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely.
it is exciting
It
to be
is.
doing this work with you, and your work is inspiring. I see some of those designs you come out
So
with,
is
and they
yours.
really they they, they tell me you got to get serious about this. And then you had this saying about paying attention to every detail
Mhm.
to create quality.
Yes,
That's like
yes.
you've set some standards for Rimpage, and I
Mm,
really want people to know that Rimpage is getting better because of the work that you're doing. Um, um, you, I know from our many conversations that you're a person of faith and you believe in
mhm,
God, and I'd like
mhm,
to give you an opportunity to tell us how important that is to you and why it's important and what role
mhm.
does it play in your life.
It is crucially important, because alignment with that is bigger than us, that is connecting all of us, however we call it. I happen to call it God. Some people have different names for it. However you feel this energy, allowing this energy to connect with the soul of you, with the essence of you, and to allow it to express through you in this world, to touch other people, to connect with other people from that same energy. That is of utmost importance to me. If that light was switched off, I don't think that we would have the opportunity even to make these connections. But because like we come from different places, we speak
Mhm.
different languages, we come from different backgrounds, and to imagine that in the essence, in the right at
Yes,
the
yeah,
core of
yeah,
us, we are absolutely one and the same, right? And that is what I see as God, is that connecting thread between all of us. So yes, aligning with that first, and that being my guiding light in life, that means everything to me.
so important,
Hmm.
so important. Thank you. Um, Last question, and then I think I think we'll wrap it up after this. But you said
Okay.
something, and you often do. You and I have been on a lot of calls. We've talked about Rimpage a lot with other people, and when you start talking about Rimpage, I start taking notes because you have this way of communicating about Rimpage that has a whole lot more soul. Like
Mm.
mine, I feel like is very intellectual. like, like they play for big rewards on a big stage and all, all that. But I love how you reach people when you speak
Mm.
about it. So what you said was put your energy where your heart is.
Yes.
That is beautiful, and I'd like you to talk about that. What does that mean to
Mhm.
you?
Well, what I just touched upon, meaning when I say your energy, I mean this aliveness inside you, that which is larger than you, that you feel that you are part of. That is what I mean. Put that in service of your life, put that in service of every other person that you come across, and you cannot fail. You know, everything you will have a feeling everything is unfolding the way is meant to be unfolding. And even in contrasts in life, in problems and in difficult situations, in adversities, you will realize that that is only a hidden blessing in the invitation to grow more, to become more of who you're meant to be, and to know that confidently you're moving through life as a winner.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's what that means in a nutshell.
Katerina, I have many times, like since 2017 when I got serious about Rimpage, I have visualized the moment when our promise will have been fulfilled. When I
Mm.
hand the trophy to the person who has won the final match in the Lions tournament and declaring him the undisputed best basketball
Yeah.
player in the world.
Mhm.
I look forward to seeing you on that platform, and Antoine and David and Rob
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
everyone else on the Rimpage team. Thank you so much for being a part of this adventure with us.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
And you all take care. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, Katerina can be reached on our Facebook group, or you can let me know and we can put her contact information out there for you. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for watching, and you all take care.